reason why the bandana is somewhat unrelated. When I was in Japan, the trains there have very cold air conditioning. I love air conditioning, but it blasts down on you. So I used to put a bandana on while I was taking a train, and take it off when I got out of the train. Your effort, mighty and bold and obvious, unfortunately, to the great many, may not, will not, and has proven not to, have had the desired effect, which was to inspire others to stand up rather than to stand down and to join those verbal activists in their own torment and trouble. A sickening soup of lies and a distortion of the facts. I don't know what the future holds for this endeavor, but indeed there will be a record of it through the video and through the living memory that's in your minds, that you made a contribution that others can only fancy in the collective bubbles on their brains, and how lucky it is for me to reveal that to you. That there are those behind the scenes that support every effort that you've made in this community. And I imagine that in the future you'll be able to tell that story at a time and a place of your choosing. Now, and that's it. The speech is over. That's it. So before we start, before we begin, as always, I would like to introduce to you in the world a chant. Now, this chant was imported from Japan tax-free. Didn't cost the American people a single penny. Even in triumph that they hold today, let's show them how to stretch our limbs out. Yep. Oh, show them how to stretch the limbs. Stretch the limbs and stretch those limbs and make those arms, make it all feel good. Make it worth your while. Make it worth your while. And here we go. Ready? Ichiri, son. Hey! Speech is over. The ceremony is concluded.
There's your brother.
There's my brother. Ceremony is just concluded. So let's all get ready for the next adventure, which will be the mulching of the trees. Any moment. Woo!
No.
Whoever's going to waste.
One fancy or bitter rice.
Basically, except for the ones like this, we're not going to do ones like this. They're too small, and they're already well. Guys, put some on here too. Hello. Are you registered to vote?
Yes, we are.
I'm running for New York State Assembly. Yeah, I'm the guy that fixed the whole zip code. Oops. Yes, everybody, democracy in action right here. You get as many rejections as you get people signing. When put to the test, sometimes they never knew me. So, but we got quite a number of signatures. Look, today, just to, yeah, choose, look it. Look, take it. Yeah. Hello. Are you registered to vote? Are you registered to vote?
Yes.
Are you registered Democrat?
Yes.
I'm running for state assembly. There's Father Rodnev. Father. Father. I have my official documentarian here.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I'm running for New York State Assembly, as you know. I'm back again, but anyway, my friend Jason, he's trying to get a sense of what campaigning is like.
Very good.
Right?
Very good. Yeah.
And, I did what I could do, and now.
What do you get? Signatures?
Yep, still getting signatures.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Very
still we got another couple of days to go, and give people an opportunity to, as you know.
Oh,
Good.
sure. Well, you got my vote. You know.
I know that.
He's a good man. Good man.
Thank you.
He works very hard for this community. And you know that. You're there every day.
That's right. I've been campaigning now for the past 4 weeks and a half. So the petitioning goes on for 5 weeks. I've been blessed that I could do this, and in some ways I'm putting people to the test. I've mentioned it before. Asking people, well, everybody, you've been witness to a decade of work and service to this place on earth, and what kind of person do you think should be in a leadership position? And what is a leader? I think the leader is someone who creates other leaders and serves and sacrifices. Leaders should be sacrificing a lot more than they are in this country. We may have in the past, but we've become very accustomed not to sacrifice, or it's someone else will sacrifice for you, like a third party. I think therein lies one of the problems. It's okay to sacrifice as long as we can show that there's a goal involved. Sacrifice in and of itself without a specific goal is not enough to justify that devotion and that expansion and an expression of manpower and getting people together and doing what I do here in Woodside with the youth particularly. I think therein lies the mystery solved here, is that developing other young future leaders, that is a sacrifice worth making. Today, of course, July 14th, 2016, Bastille Day in France, and the overthrow of the Kingdom of France and the later on establishment of the Napoleonic era. Here I'm today, Dave Rosasco, the candidate for New York State Assembly, District 30, standing in front of 32 Broadway. And what an honor it is for me to bring the petitions that were sought after in the past 5 weeks from ordinary citizens and residents who are registered Democrats of the district in which I'm attempting to represent in the government. The honor really for me was that at very little cost to anyone, and at $51.63, I'm able here today to reveal that 101 sheets were completed, and a very few number, just as it was during the time of the restoration of Woodside zip code, came together to support an effort, and this time the effort was to allow me the opportunity to practice democracy. While we still have a democratic form of government, I hope we always will, these petitions represent a hallmark of what free people can do when put to the test. Today I'll submit those petitions, and I fully expect that our Board of Elections, in short, this government, will perceive those petitions as a sign of the strength of the campaign, but also what the community of Woodside has been seeking for many long years of lack of true representation, and hopefully having an opportunity to ballot and potentially to win the election, and then open up the system to everyone and find out what's behind the door. The moment we've all been waiting for, the par excellence. A moment. I believe this is originally Brian Barnwell, BB. He objected to both myself and to Margaret Markey, the incumbent. She dropped her objection within 4 or 5 days after, I guess, consultation among themselves, realizing which way this would go. Is it worth it? Let's be honest, 3 candidates is better than 2. She was probably surprised that she was being challenged. The incumbent herself was being challenged. That's what set off all this activity. Originally, I would have had 2 objectors, one from the incumbent and one from Brian Barnwell. And I knew that as of Monday. By Thursday, the Democratic Party hierarchy got together, I guess, and they looked at my petition and they said, well, it looks like he's gonna make it. We don't see anything. We don't see any reason to continue on with the objections. So they dropped their objection. That fell. But Brian Barnwell's remained, which makes a lot of sense. He wants me off the ballot so he can have his one-on-one. In his mind, any votes for me that if I'm not on the ballot, those voters will go to him. That's what his assumption is.
And how does he have access to?
He would purchase a copy. When he makes a specific objection, he would have purchased a copy of my petition. So he had my full petition.
So he had to actually go to BOE?
Yes. He or one of his people had to go, withdraw my petition, and start looking through the...
It's legal?
It's legal. Now, that's the question, is it legal or is it right? Now, that's one of the issues that I'm going to be facing whether I win or lose in my life. I wanted our youth to see what their democracy really is, how the system is flawed to begin with. In some states, as I've mentioned before to some people, 100 signatures that states won't contest are good enough to run for Congress. Fair enough. They won't even look at it. They don't want to challenge because it's citizens. We're talking about citizens' right, members of a party, to vote. Our system is designed to, it's the assumption of guilt, which is in violation, I think, of the Constitution. We told Eric and Teresa and my daughter and said, what do you think? Why don't we just push ahead? And Eric says, well, the lawyer obviously has to pay for this. Says, can you come up with $7,000? I said, I can't rub 2 wooden nickels in my hand, but I'll have to go into my emergency, like whatever money I had left over from my translation, and my wife, if anything that she has, and then I'll have to ask the public so that we can pay for counsel, because we felt that the issue was sound, that 41 of our citizens, at least, were disenfranchised, thrown out, cast aside, cast asunder. You don't exist, even though we could prove that they exist, and so it wasn't that hard of a decision. What made it easier was thinking about the youth and thinking about all the loyalty they've shown to me, and that many of these youth consider me to be a role model. And what would it look like to them if their person that they're working with for years, sweating and toiling in this community, decided to crumble and without facing it and evacuate myself to Japan? I have to think about that. I had to think about, because now I'm not doing it just for Woodside. Really, I'm doing it for the young people who have stood by my side and the few others who realize what the message I'm really trying to show to the public is that their democracy is it stands on a foundation of sand. And I'm hoping to reveal all of this to the world so that they'll know what goes on even at this level of government, and how their disenfranchisement is real, how you're fighting effectively a losing battle. The only thing you can come out of it with is a safe face, maybe, if you're lucky, and that this next generation of people will be ready for the test, because their system will put them to the test, and we've been losing one after the other, but maybe they'll be ready. And I'm hoping to show them a way out, one possible way out of the problem. And I'm proud of them as much as I'm proud of the people of Woodside who have stood with me. But in the end, right now, just as much as I'm fighting for my support, I'm fighting for these young people. I mean, they've been with me. They were out there in the cold and the heat. They're the ones calling me on the phone in the morning saying, "We're with you, Mr. David." Wow. Does that need any further analysis? That to me says it all.
Different ways.
Morning.
No, just
Loose and then the mulch. Right?
make a full mop.
Huh?
Dave, he's a painter. 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 Dave,
What keeps us coming is definitely just like when people walk by, like they get so like, wow, thank you so much, and they're just like so appreciative. And I think that kind of makes it worth it for us, because that's why we're here. We're here to help people. And Dave like is one of those people who he wouldn't ask for help, but it means a lot to us, like to go and help him because he doesn't ask. Dave has a lot of attributes like that he just like connects with people really fast. He's a natural born leader. So I think that's a big part of it. And he makes you feel loved. He makes you feel like, you know what, this isn't just like we're cleaning up Woodside. Like I want to get to know you, and I appreciate you being here, kind of a thing. And youth in New York need that. I mean, it's hard to live here. It's good to go somewhere and feel like you can do something hands-on and not think about your life and just like have fun. And Dave does that. Dave keeps that going.
Would only include a small proportion of affordable units that will not only cause rents to rise in surrounding communities, but add additional pressure to our limited infrastructure, our transit systems, our overburdened schools, and our parks.
Yeah, no. See, I got him waiting.
Say no! Jimmy Van Bramer! 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 Say no! Jimmy Van Bramer!
Developers and politicians, different job, same system. Developers and politicians, different job, same system.
can hold it. And I'm here from Woodside to help our brothers and sisters who are in dire need right now in Sunnyside and Long Island City. I shudder to think what might have occurred if 25 years ago the people in positions of power would have prevented the crisis from occurring in the first place. The first developments that hit the shores of this borough. Meanwhile, small men with big jobs continue to undermine every possible positive action being taken in this community and beyond. I'm sick of it. So frustrating.
That's right.
But nevertheless, even in the state of grave danger as money interest in powerful corporations backed by politicians who are spineless at best and are unwilling to fight on to the end for their very people they want your votes from,
Yep.
all we're asking for is to stem the tide and to slow down the overdevelopment.
Right.
Science says that you can build a pyramid on the head of a pin, but doesn't make it practical.
Right.
Sunnyside Yards is akin to building a pyramid on the head of a pin.
Yeah.
And the BQX, who does it serve? Serves no one here.
The developers.
Useless. It's almost akin to a private trail line.
That's right.
Just to get people from Williamsburg to Long Island City. Wow. What paragons of virtue are in this government? Real heroes. If they really want to learn about the future of America, stand with the youth and the immigrants and the working class.